All right, welcome everybody to BUS174, which is electronic commerce. Okay. So this is fall 2020 quarter. It's our course intro. This is a brief introduction to the course and the expectations. Okay. All right, so let's get started. This quarter, we're going to do this course asynchronously, meaning there's no specific time that you need to show up. Should work for your flexible schedules, okay, for those of you who are in different time zones. It is online, obviously, and as such, I have no office location that you can go to. Okay. I will offer office hours by appointment and a weekly kind of free-for-all session that you can go to and ask questions. It's not a lecture. It's just an open office hours. Okay. Our classroom, we are using iLearn, and then I'm also doing lecture recordings in two places. And the recordings are identical. There's no difference between them. Okay. The content's the same. The first will be my YouTube channel. There'll be a playlist, and it's linked from the syllabus. The second is UJA in iLearn. You can use that video link and use UCR software. Okay. The UJA system has the closed captioning for this course from UCR. Okay, so if you're looking for quality captions, that's where you're going to go. If, however, you don't care about the captions, then YouTube will be available and it has its own automatic caption. Okay. My email's in the syllabus, so you can email me there. And let's go on and start talking about this course a bit. So in this course, we talk about electronic commerce. And we go through, and it's a mix of business and technical sides. So your objectives for this course are to understand the different business models of e-commerce and e-business, understand the technical components and infrastructure that enable e-business. We'll talk about ethical, social, and security issues. We'll talk about marketing and advertising concepts. You should be able to understand the business value of e-business, and you should be able to appreciate the dynamics of e-commerce, digital markets, digital goods, etc. Okay. The prerequisite for this course is BIS 101. If you do not meet that and somehow got into this course, you should talk to your advisor. Okay. As far as course materials go, we have a book, and I have a couple of versions of it that are totally fine. Okay. So I don't care if you obtain paperback, hardcover, or ebooks of our course materials, but they are used extensively and you will not be able to complete your assignments without access to these. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this particular publisher, we were not able to get access to the full book for this course. Okay. So there's no e-reserves for this course for these particular books. But the first two chapters are posted in iLearn, so you have time to obtain the book. Okay. You can obtain the 2017 edition, which is this one here. Okay. And it's got a bluish spine. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Or the 2019 edition, which is this one here with the puzzle on it. Okay. And it has a black spine. Okay. My recommendation is the 2017 edition here because it's probably cheaper. But if you buy the 2019 version, the content's the same. The only difference is the case studies are different. Okay, so the content is largely the same. It shouldn't be an issue for you. Let's talk about the grading policy. So the first thing we have in this course is a case study worth 30% of your grade. Okay, and I will give more details in iLearn later about that. The second thing is homework worth 20% of your grade. The third thing is participation. That's 20% of your grade. And then the last thing is a final exam. That's 30% of your grade. Okay. Your grades will be posted throughout the course. If you find a problem with your score, you need to let me know within a week. Okay. From the time that I post the score, not the time that you look at the score, the time that I posted the score. After a week, your score will not be reviewed. Okay. If there's a dispute, the entire exam or assignment, actually in this case, the assignment, because by the time you take the final exam, you can't dispute it anymore, end of the quarter. So I won't just review the questions in dispute, I'll review the whole assignment, okay? And then no scores will be reviewed after December, I should say December 1st. I will fix that right now. No scores will be reviewed after December 1st, okay? So all assignments, except for those due the last week, are due by 11 p.m. on Sunday of the week due, okay? There's a case study due in week 10. I'll post the details in iLearn later. It needs to be at least 2,500 words. There's no page limit, by the way, okay? But it needs to be at least 2,500 words. Okay? Double spaced in some sort of 12-point readable font. If I can't read it, I can't grade it. Use college level grammar. You can use APA or MLA, it doesn't matter to me. But if you borrow ideas from others, it doesn't matter whether you're quoting it or just paraphrasing it. Anything you've borrowed from others that you didn't create yourself, you need to cite it, okay? And you need to use proper citations for whichever format you're using. So for APA, that's in-text citation in parentheses. And for MLA, that would be footnotes at the bottom of each page, okay? Failure to do so will result in an F on that assignment and a referral to the Office of Student Conduct, okay? The academic integrity policy is at the end of the syllabus, but it doesn't matter whether you're, if you're from somewhere else that your country doesn't accept it as plagiarism, or you've got another professor who let you get by with not reporting you. That doesn't matter. I've heard those excuses. The Office of Student Conduct's heard those excuses. They are irrelevant, okay? So make sure you understand the policies if you don't already know them. All right, homework, there are 2 required homework assignments. They'll be due in weeks 5 and 11, and I'll post the details in iLearn, okay? Class participation, there are gonna be 4 discussions throughout the course. Each one is worth 5% of your grade. Those will be due in the even number of weeks, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So you can remember that, okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, that's when your discussions are due. In that, you're gonna write an original post of 150 words or more and respond to 2 classmates' posts, and you need to have at least 50 words in each of those responses, okay? If you don't do all 3 of those things, you won't receive credit, okay? iLearn won't even submit it to me for grading unless you do all 3 of those things, okay? If you don't do all 3 of those things, you don't get partial points, you get 0 points. So make sure you follow directions, okay? It's a fairly simple assignment. You cannot make up discussions though, okay? So you can't make those up and you can't submit them late. So if you forget to do them, you're out of luck, right? The exam is going to be based on material across the whole course. It's going to be untimed and open notes, open book, etc. Okay. You'll have a week to complete it in iLearn, but it will be due on the normal exam date and time for this course. All right. And I do not accept the late exam submissions at all. As far as the late makeup resubmission policy goes, we're going to abide by this. So if the case study and homework are late, it's because they haven't been submitted by the deadline that's in iLearn. So if iLearn marks them as late, they're late and the penalties will be applied. If the assignment's less than 24 hours late, then the penalty is only 10%. Okay? But if it's more than 24 hours late, the penalty is 30%. You have the entire quarter until December 11th at 11 p.m. to submit your case study and homework assignments as late, okay? But I really strongly encourage you not to procrastinate. It's a really bad habit to get into. Okay? If you wait to submit until right before the deadline and you have iLearn issues, that's not a valid excuse, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've been blamed for iLearn going down when something's due. That is not my problem. You shouldn't have waited until the last minute to submit it, okay? But also the exam and the discussions are never accepted late. So you can do that with case study and homework, but not your exam or discussions. As far as makeup work, the only valid excuse for that would be a medical emergency with appropriate documentation, okay? And then resubmissions of assignments, I don't permit that. Submit your best work the first time, okay? And I don't make exceptions for individuals, so please don't even ask. It's just not even worth your time asking, okay? Week 1 starts this coming week, as in tomorrow. We're going to talk about the e-commerce revolution, and your reading will be chapter 1. For week 2, we're going to talk about e-commerce business models. This is going to be chapter 2, and then you're going to have your first discussion due. In week 3, we'll talk about e-commerce infrastructure and building the e-commerce presence. Your readings will be chapter 3 and chapter 4. For week 4, we're going to talk about e-commerce security and payment systems. Your readings will be chapter 5, and you'll have your discussion to do. Okay. Week 5, we're going to talk about marketing and advertising and social, mobile, and local marketing. I take that back. We're not talking about social media, mobile, and local marketing that week. That's a mistake on my part. Fixed it. Okay. Readings, chapter 6, and then your first homework will be due. By the way, your homework assignments in this course are going to be fun, and they involve doing things with building a website and things like that. Okay, so it should be a lot of fun for you. Week 6 will be social, mobile, and local marketing. That will be chapter 7 is your reading, and discussion number 3 is due. And then for for week 7, you're going to have the ethical, social, and political issues. So you're going to read chapter 8, and then I will post some supplemental materials out on iLearn for you. Okay. Week 8, online retail and services. You'll have chapter 9 to read, and your discussion 4 is due. And then that will do it for your discussions. After week 8, you have no more discussions to worry about. Okay. Week 9, online content and media. You'll be reading chapter 10. And then week 10 will be social networks, auctions, and portals. You'll read chapter 11, and that's when your case study will be due. And week 11, that's when we talked about B2B e-commerce, supply chain management, and collaborative commerce. Okay. You'll read chapter 12, and you'll do your last homework assignment. Okay. And then week 12 will be the finals week. You'll most likely get your exam at the end of week 11, and you will have 1 week to do it. It will be due at the time of our normal final exam. Okay. And then make sure that you read the integrity statement at the bottom of the syllabus. Very important that you understand that. Okay. And that's it. I will post the substantive lecture here soon.